Hey YouTube, KingCobraJFS here with another video. As I mentioned, I ordered a new magazine for my Scorpion 1911 pistol. This one is severely warped and does not, take CO2 like it's supposed to. Originally, if it wasn't warped, it probably would have, I assumed all CO2 cartridges that were labeled as 12 grams were the same. Turns out they're not. The JT ones for these do not work. They ended up being a centimeter off. By the time I got the crossments like the directions that recommended, damage was done. I tried to use the vice clamp to make it fit, and it did fit for a little bit. It did work for a little bit, but then it just quit after that. So the clip's fucked. Okay, this sucker does not work anymore. So hopefully the new one will get here tomorrow, and I'll be able to do a review on it. But what I can tell you, if you do get this gun at Walmart, this gun kicks ass. Pretty much full metal. Functions just like a real 1911. You got your slide lock, obviously, on the side here, and then you got your slide lock right there, where okay. And in order to pull the trigger, you actually have to squeeze the grip safety. Okay, so this functions. And you got your magazine release right there. And one cool thing I found out too was that my airsoft shotgun, it came with this extractor rod right here for when BBs get jammed in the barrel, so I don't have to screw it apart and take it apart. One cool thing I found out about this is that this rod fits perfectly down the center of this barrel, like that. If I go like that, you can see it sticking up right there on the side. Okay, I found that out. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I can use that to get rid of any jammed BBs in the barrel, so I don't have to take it apart and risk breaking it. So, cool shit. So hopefully, I just called the warehouse of UPS and made mention of it, and hopefully it'll be here tomorrow sometime. But the thing of it is too, it's just UPS as a company does not make sense to me. For one, the only shipping that UPS, the store, handles is out of. It doesn't receive packages. That goes to the warehouse they have somewhere else. Okay. Second thing, people who work in the UPS store are not UPS employees, which logically doesn't make sense because you're thinking the sign says UPS store, the people inside are working behind the counter. Logic says that they're UPS employees, but no, they're not. If that's not the case for anywhere else, if you're working at Burger King, Wendy's, McDonald's, Arby's, any other business, you're working for that company. So the fact that UPS has two separate locations, one that just receives packages, the other one that ships it, makes no sense to me whatsoever. If I was the owner of that company, I would seriously think about investing in, shipping and handling to the store instead of in some fucking warehouse, okay? Or at the very least, having the UPS store attached to the warehouse, so that way you can, the UPS we have here in town doesn't exactly have the warehouse. The warehouse for the UPS store we have here in town is literally out of town. Okay, it's out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And, so I don't have a car. I can't readily access it. So I called them, and looked up the tracking number for my replacement magazine on airsplat.com. So hopefully it'll get here. When it does, I'll show you how the gun fully functions and everything. And it's a pretty sweet piece. It really is. 450 feet per second. It's not bad. Full metal construction. Pretty badass. So, but yeah. So I'm kind of super bummed that they ain't cooperating. But that's why I ordered a replacement magazine. So hopefully it'll get here soon. Also tomorrow's payday, and also tomorrow, April 16th, is me and Stephanie's anniversary. So I'm gonna get her something nice at Walmart. Maybe a ring or something with a diamond if I can afford it, or a diamond necklace or something like that, or something. They don't have it. Probably looking to at the mall and see what they got. Then I also want to take out dinner and stuff too. So cool beans. Those of you who don't know, but last night we had a eclipse moon. It was a blood moon to be more specific, and it was full. Pretty cool too. I watched it happen at a graveyard, so yeah, pretty cool shit. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. Like your UPS shipping and handling, if you're shipping a package out of the area you're in, you go to the UPS store and they ship it out if you choose UPS. If you're receiving a package and you miss it, you can't just go to the UPS store front and be like, hey, I just missed this package, what should I do? Because the first time this happened, I assumed, logically it made sense, that I walk in there and they're like, actually, no, we don't handle the packages here, we just ship them out. You want to go to this warehouse where they receive them and ship. I'm like, huh? So that didn't really make too much sense to me there for a second. Logically, it doesn't compute. I'm like, alright. So I went in there today to see if I can get the address for the warehouse and the number form and shit. And they're like, yeah, technically we're not even UPS employees. I'm like, what? So yeah, this company they have going here just has a lot of holes in it and doesn't make sense to me. So hopefully the CO2 magazine gets here tomorrow. And it doesn't make sense because Stephanie was here. I wasn't here. I was at work. I don't know how the hell we missed the UPS man, to be honest with you. That kind of, yeah. Is what it is, no biggie, I guess, but hopefully we'll get here tomorrow. I know for a fact that tomorrow Stephanie has a day off, and tomorrow I'll be working for a bit, but when I get off work, I'll be able to take her to dinner and then and stuff. So hopefully tomorrow. And I tried fixing it with a metal bat and some tape around it, little chunks of tape that I got here, and it didn't work. It didn't take a CO2 cartridge like it was supposed to, so yeah. If you do get a Scorpion 1911 Black Ops pistol from Walmart, okay, I'll say it again. If you don't have CO2 cartridges for it, or you do have some, I recommend Crossman, okay, the 12-gram Crossman, okay. And I think that doesn't make sense too, is you think that all 12-gram CO2 cartridges for CO2 airsoft-powered guns are the same, but they're not. The GT ones I had were a centimeter off. I bought those for my CO2 357 Magnum type pistol I bought. I even customized the parts of it to be green, so it would be black and green. It looked really cool, But a buddy of mine was borrowing it for his ZRT run, and he gets pulled over, and the cop sees the CO2 gun and decides to confiscate it. So I pretty much fucked that up CO2 gun. So I'm meaning to get one. I don't hold it against him for it by any means. Shit happens. That was and the other thing I like about that gun, it was a cool gun. Don't get me wrong, okay, but this little circle cap it had with it, that you put in the cylinder, that you push the BBs in individually, and then you stuck that on the barrel of sorts, and that spun around, you rotated, and after you close that in, you pull the trigger, it'd rotate like the real thing, but what I'm saying, that piece breaks rather easily. That's the problem I have with those Crossman 357 CO2 guns, is that, so yeah. Black Ops also offers a number of other airsoft guns, like the M4 Cobra. You check that out on their website. That's actually pretty cool. I shit you not. Speaking of, did y'all see Animation Domination? That shit was awesome. I might mention it in the last video, but the whole time sitting there like, yeah, man. You got Stan trying to suck up to his boss and get into his social circle. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then the episode of Family Guy was awesome too. I'm trying to remember what it was about. Shit. Skipping my mind. Crap. Oh yes, I remember now. Peter accidentally threw in the park to go to the bar, to go to the clam, if you will. Lois finds out and calls him dumb, and it upsets Peter, so he takes a vacation around the United States to better educate himself by going to opera and reading books and shit like that. And he comes back a more culturally refined man. And Lois is all okay with it at first, but then after a while she grows to hate it, because this is kind of how shit like this happens in Family Guys. I suppose these tape wads here. Any episode like that on Family Guy where Lois says something that makes Peter change his personalities and or whole demeanor, and of course Lois is like, oh, I like this, and then she grows to hate it after a while. Yeah, an episode of Family Guy where it got to a point where Peter was so fat that she was encouraging him to get in shape, and Peter finally gets in shape. And at first, Lois is like, I like this new Peter, you know, she likes the way he looks and shit. And then after a while, Peter starts to develop a attitude, if you will, about having good looks, and it goes to his head, and Lois begins to hate it. So, you know, episodes like that are always fun. Bob's Burgers featured a My Little Pony reference. It was actually quite fucking hilarious. And, you know, Tina, the autistic in the show, was going to this, I can't remember what the fuck they call it, some weird, you know, Power Pony Force or some shit like that. And they're going to this convention, and this guy swindles her out of her character from the show, which turns out to be a really rare version of that character. And Bob Belcher, her father, actually goes and rescues it from her. So yeah, that's also a good episode too, which involves Bob basically dressing up in a horse costume and going out with these to this social gathering, if you will, convention, if you will, or con or whatever. Yeah. So I don't know. So hopefully the magazine gets here tomorrow. And when it does, I'll show you how to properly load the CO2 gun and everything, and fire it and shit. So yeah. I don't know how me and Stephanie could have missed the UPS man this morning. Like I said, she had to work till like 4 or 5, so, you know, she was in the area at the time of when the CO2 magazine was supposed to arrive, but I called her when I got off work, because the last UPS ticket said from 10:30 to 2, and I'm like, I'll be, you know, at work at that time, so, and, you know, Stephanie didn't have to work till later in the day, so I figured, oh, she'll be here to get it, cool. But when I called her, she said she never heard the UPS man deliver the package, and I'm like, well, did we get a notice and we missed it? And she goes, I think it might have blown away in the wind. And I'm like, great. So I'm sure this isn't the only time UPS has successfully managed to piss off a couple of customers. But hopefully, you know, it all gets fixed tomorrow and it gets, you know, taken care of. Because if not, I'm going to be a little upset. If it doesn't get, if I miss it tomorrow, there's no way it should miss tomorrow. Because tomorrow Stephanie has a day off tomorrow for our anniversary. So there's no reason why she shouldn't, you know, the UPS man, you know, she shouldn't miss that package. You know what I'm saying? Like tomorrow, today, you know, at 2 o'clock she tends to, you know, get ready for work and head there and stuff, so she has time to get there and shit. But fucking A, dude, this whole experience has been, you know, mildly frustrating. If I would have stopped to see that the CO2 cartridges were a centimeter off from the screw when I screwed it in, you know, I would have probably should have checked the directions in. If I would have read the fine print, I would have said best recommended for this gun to use Crossman 12-gram cartridges. I'm like, oh, I didn't think to read that part, though. I tried using the vice clamp to make the CO2 cartridge fit, the JT ones, and I got it to fit for a bit, and the gun didn't work like it was supposed to for a bit, but then it warped the magazine so bad that now it doesn't even work anymore. So the magazine doesn't, the gun still works just fine, you know. I'm confident of that once I get the new magazine, it should work just fine. Well, needless to say, the whole thing was mildly frustrating, understandably, you know, but hopefully it gets resolved. I got my tax returns back, and I got $910 in tax returns. So I'll be able to pay off some rent with that for sure. I got me and Stephanie, each check we're getting for this month, we're just taking a little out each check, like $100 or $200, and you know, sticking it in a safe place and using that to pay rent and stuff. So we got a system down that theoretically should work, you know. But for the most part, you know, I'm anxious to have this gun working again, man. This thing, I've seen these guns on YouTube, full blowback action, fucking sweet, dude. But because you're CO2 powered and 450 feet per second, you do have to be at least 18 years of age or older to purchase the gun at Walmart or any other retail stores where it's sold. But yeah, you know. So hopefully I'll get it taken care of and get everything resolved and all that, and yeah. And by anniversary, I know we're not married, but that was our first date at Job Corps, and so yeah, when we first met and stuff, so for sure, dude. Sweet, 2-year anniversary, hell yeah. And I look back, I was like, holy shit, it's like our second anniversary, holy shit, the time flies, doesn't it? It certainly does. It certainly does. I can definitely say that Stephanie has done a lot for my confidence. Because before I met Stephanie, I wasn't, you know, the most socially accepted by women. And earlier in my life, you know, if I had done things differently, that probably wouldn't have been the case. You know, because I'm not that bad looking, and once you get to know me, I'm not that obnoxious, you know. Some of the comments I've gotten on my YouTube channel saying, man, I would hate to spend a day with this guy. He's probably so full of himself. I'm like, you don't even know me, do you? You're just seeing me from my YouTube videos and judging me from that as a perspective, and that makes you very close-minded. I'm just saying. But I'm off work. I need a drink. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. No Jim Beam, honey, that's why, alright, we'll go for this stuff instead. Okay, oof. This here YouTube is Dragon Fruit Sky Vodka. It's got a great smell to it. And it tastes pretty fucking good. It's a pretty good mixture drink for a lot of the stuff I like to mix. Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh. Everybody! Shot, 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 shots. Yeah. Oh. That's got a funky afterburn to it. Anyway, KingCobraJFS with another video. Thanks for watching, and see y'all later.